Hello, hello, hello. This is Danny Spies with Unleashed Consulting and your best boss, take 5. Welcome. We're going to continue to explore Peter Senge's 11 laws of systems thinking. But first of all, I want to tell you, I'm wearing a t-shirt because it's getting hot. I don't know where you are, but it's getting hot here. We're finally here in Binghamton, New York, starting to come under the heat dome, at least for the next 24 hours or so. So it's not that terrible. Anyway, I'm wearing a t-shirt that I'm particularly proud of, because it's my new Unleashed Consulting t-shirt. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. But we are continuing with Peter Senge's laws, and we're going to move into system law number 8. Cause and effect are not closely related in time and space. So 3 things that we want to think about as we're thinking about how to apply this. The first is understanding that when we are dealing with a system problem, and remember, a system problem or a system challenge is when you're facing a problem or a challenge that has many moving pieces. It's a problem or challenge that has shown up over and over again, and you have tried to fix it, and it has not really given you the results that you want. If you're facing a problem or challenge like that, it tends to be a system problem. So system law number 8, cause and effect are not closely related in time and space. 3 points I want you to keep in mind as you're thinking about this. First of all, system changes, when you're impacting a system, always have a lag. They have a lag. They have a lag in time. So that's the nature of the beast, right? When we're dealing with a system change and we're coming in and we're having an impact, no matter how high leverage that impact is, you can count on a time lag, right? A time lag that happens between what you are doing and the results that you want. So you need to build that in. Now, if you get a little bit more sophisticated around system thinking, you can start to map the system problem. So when I do this, it impacts this. When I impact that, it impacts this. It reinforces this. You can start doing reinforcing loops. It gets a little bit complicated. However, if that strikes your fancy, I completely invite you to Google that and to figure out how to map your system problem. But for those of us that prefer to not necessarily map our system problems, and understanding of how systems work is really what we're talking about here. So understanding that there is always, 99% of the time, there is a lag, a time lag. Sometimes that can be a matter of hours. More often than not, especially when we're talking about organizational issues and people issues, staffing issues, productivity issues, we're talking about 6 months, 6 months, we're thinking about in quarters, right? So it tends to be 1, 2, or more than likely 3 or 4 quarters before we see the kinds of changes that we want, especially in more complicated system problems. Number 2 is a recognition that dominoes don't always fall quickly. So a good way of thinking about a system change or a system problem is a row of dominoes lined up. And you've probably seen some of the videos, the TikTok videos, or maybe if you're as old as God as I am, you've actually put dominoes together and seen how that works. But you push one and they impact each other right? Pretty quickly, actually, one going after the other, unless there's a glitch in the system, in which case you have to go in, you have to reinforce it. But I want you to think about dominoes don't always fall quickly. Right? So if we space dominoes apart, that's still a system issue, and we can recognize that it takes a little bit longer. So that tends to be more about what system issues and challenges look like, are dominoes that are spaced pretty far away from each other. So it goes click, 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 click as they fall down. I want you to think about that as you're thinking about solving or fixing this particular problem or issue or challenge that you're facing, is that there will be a lag. There will be a lag, and it's much the same way as dominoes falling, right? So we'll see results. We'll see when one domino hits the other domino. But if we don't have the mindset, the awareness, the patience, the plan, the vision of understanding how they can fall slowly, we're going to be very disappointed in the fix that we put into place. Thirdly, I want you to practice and then what? And then what? So as you're thinking about how to address this system problem or challenge, and each piece of the problem or the solution comes into play, as you start to identify that, make sure you ask, when we do this, what will happen? And then what? And then what? And then what? Now, pro tip, don't do this on your own. If you can bring a trusted colleague, advisor, friend, a coach in to help you work through that kind of disciplined thinking, please do that. You can do that with your team as well. It gets a little bit wonky when you're working with a team. I absolutely to do it with your team, but then you got to facilitate it and manage it. And really, we want your best thinking in there too. So if you have the kind of team that you can, really be a part of the best thinking of that team, then by all means do it on your own. But the pro tip is really don't go at this alone. We tend to have a lot of blind spots around system challenges and issues. So it's always good to get more voices in the room. All right. Thank you so much. This is Danny Ceballos with Unleash Consulting and your best boss take 5. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.